other paper, I saw some of you really talked or started talking about it. But it is only today that we are able to take the motion. And the motion, as you have it before you, is simple. That because of the peculiar situation Nigeria finds itself today, and also because of the inefficiency of the previous measures taken against circumstances like this, I felt that the government should introduce food stamps as an interim measure to address the imminent food insecurity in the country, which today, even in the National Assembly here, the Labour was there, and they were not talking about anything but calling on the federal government to address this matter. So that's why I felt that I should do this motion, and hopefully the government would adhere or, listen or address the motion as moved. America, which we all know is one of the richest country or most developed country in the world, introduced food stamps in 1939. So if you do the arithmetic, and it's still in existence today, only last 2 years, I think, or during Trump's administration, that they changed it from food stamp to what they call SNAP, S-N-A-P. That is Supplement Nutrition, Assistance Program. That's the SNAP. But it's more like food stamp. Why I'm more into it, and I think I want you to, I suggested that you can just Google food stamp and you see how it's being run in America. So this program is practicable and more efficient than disbursing money. Because if you give people money, or the cash system, the cash whatever they call it, is the system that I really don't support. Because we have tested it, especially during the Buhari regime, and it was immense with massive corruption. Even now, you don't know how it's going to be. Because when you say you have a data bank, and people collect billions, in fact, to collect fake bank, data or whatever, to build data, and they keep on sending money, and you don't see people even acknowledging that money. But if it is food stamp, it's normally given to you to go and either buy gari, go buy rice, go buy semovita, a specific food stuff. You go into designated points, present your food stamp, and in return you are given food. That way, there's some kind of control, and it will ensure that it gets to the needy. Like in the civil service, you can cut it, for example, from level 7 downward are those that can benefit from food stamp. You give them food stamp commensurate to their need, and then there are non-income earners in all our places. You can use your councillor, you can use your NIM, you can use your BVN, to register. And then you go to a particular place to register in your own ward, and then you collect stamp for food. And further control can be implemented by saying, for example, if you are giving for 1 month, then you must use it. If the month lapses, that's it. And as I said, there are so many experts already, they have started calling me to say that they are willing to even volunteer to provide expert advice on how to implement it. And I hope that the government will listen, and along, whether with the cash transfer or what they call and all that, introduce food stamp. You all know, if you go to the market today, there is food, but it is the purchasing power that is the problem. So if you give workers food stamp, they can go and collect food, and that's what they need for now. And then this measure, if taken, can be reviewed from time to time. In fact, no Nigerian would want to be living on food stamp if he has the capacity. So it will generally level itself. But if it is money, no Nigerian will refuse money. That's why you see, people will always be collecting money, especially when it is only a lot. Nobody will know that they are benefiting from the cash transfer. And you will discover that somebody will go and name his dog and name his goat and name his as a data, and then be collecting a lot on their behalf. But if it is food, you must go and collect food. I think, except if there is any question, that is the intendment of the motion, and I'm very confident that this will be adopted. This food stamp will also be implemented as it is practiced in other countries. In fact, some other countries like UK, Canada, go on to not only provide for food stamp, but meal stamp. They also provide meal ticket to the less privileged ones. Instead of money, you have like meal ticket. Then that's why you see in UK, the less privileged ones will go to a restaurant, not a high-cost restaurant, but normal restaurant, eat food, basic food, and use the ticket instead of paying for cash. This cash, I believe that the use of food stamp will be a better option than the use of cash transfer. Or it can be used along with because I know now that the government is committing about 12 billion to this conditional cash transfer, because this government is very responsive. That is what I give to this president, Asiwaju. He is very responsive. Anytime these issues of hunger everywhere, that he's grappling with all ways to see how it can be enumerated. So, ready for your question. First of all, say that I was expecting that you know what CH is, Cadet Harmonize. It's an analysis tool that is known all over, authentically, that they provide data to the Sahel and West Africa based on the stakeholders' demand. And it has been efficient. It has been there. I'm surprised you don't know about CH. We'll call it CH. They provide data on food. It's a tool for analysis on food insecurity in the Sahel and West Africa region. It's very popular. You Google it, you get more information on that. And secondly, your pessimism about the efficiency is this one of the problems that we have in this country, especially with the media people. We have to be optimistic. Is this idea good? The answer is yes, isn't it? So then you are talking about how to do it. If you have an idea of identifying the thieves, then identify the thieves so that the money will not be given or the food stamp will not be given to the thieves. We have to move forward. We have to be positive. As I told you, historically this happened in the US since 1939. And they continue, doing it. And it's better, as we agreed now, instead of giving people money, give them food stamp. Start with that. After that, of course there will be loopholes. Of course there will be people that will try to change the system. But the main objective is bigger than the small problems that come with it. So I want you to write positively about it, not to start talking about you will steal the money and all that, because that is not, I particularly, I'm a very optimistic person. And I feel discouraged when people think pessimistically. We need to solve the food problem in this country. If it is not that the cost of, food items is high, no Nigerian will be asking for anything. You understand? And in order to solve this problem, then we have to be positive. You have to say, okay, if we are to do this food stamp, this should be done in order to help make it efficient. But not to say, oh, they will steal the money again. Of course they will. Next, and the last one, the COVID issue and the palliative, right? Let me say that this is not related at all to the measures taken during COVID. In fact, I objected to the system used during the COVID because it's another way or method that can be easily and fraudulently be abused, and that was what happened. You only hear about COVID-19 money, but you don't see. Or maybe those that see are the people that are very close to where the monies are provided. And as I said, we're not talking about money. We're talking about food. And then, okay, you talk about opening the borders. I don't support that for now, because that's not even the problem. And I don't support the issue of closing the border, because right now, ECOWAS Parliament has taken, ECOWAS heads of state have taken a new stand that the economic sanctions on Niger and Burkina Faso and the rest should be lifted. I said, and I don't know about you, it is not issue of scarcity of food. It is the issue of price of food that makes you and the like, or those that have no income, find it difficult to access a bag of rice. Before, your salary could buy 2-3 bags of rice, and you store it in your house. But now your whole salary cannot buy a bag of rice. So what I'm saying is, provision of food stamps based on your need, basic, should be implemented as an interim, I intentionally said interim measures by the government. Because even you, now, if somebody gives you a bag of rice, you will gladly collect it. But in those days, when you are doing well and when your money can buy 5, 6 bags of rice, if I give you a bag of rice, you will look at it as something. You will prefer. So that is the truth of the matter. For this problem that we find ourselves, food stamp is the way to go. Then, as an interim measure, after, we pray, for example, that there will be security so that farmers can go back to their farms. That will increase their harvest. If it increases their harvest, naturally, by the forces of demand and supply, the price will go down. You understand? And then, if there is general security, then there will be food security. If there is no general security, as we are experiencing now, then there will be food insecurity. But opening the border is already open. It is not that we are importing food. In fact, the rice that is coming from outside is the rice that you cannot buy. Because it's clearly, if you go to the market, they will say, this is foreign rice, this is Nigerian rice, isn't it? If Nigerian rice is selling for 60, foreign rice will sell for 80, or even 100. So you see, as a Nigerian, you eat Nigerian food, because after it goes into your stomach, nobody will know that whether you ate foreign rice or. You understand?